All right, good to see all of you today here in the Cami booth. Do you all know about Cami? Do you know what it is? Okay, cool. It's one of my absolute favorites, and I know for me as a high school Spanish teacher, there's a lot of cool things that we can do with Cami. And so what I want to walk you through are some of the newer features. Especially with Cami, some people got to know it as it's a PDF annotation tool. It's like you get you a PDF and you can put some text on it. Some people, kind of thought it was for, oh, I've got these like online worksheets. We can use it to fill in online worksheets, but it's really so much more than that. And so that's what we're going to look at right here in this presentation. We're going to call visual learning plus adaptive immediate feedback with Cami. Because those are two good things, right? Visual learning, good. Adaptive immediate feedback, definitely good. If you'd like to get a hold of my slides, which are in a Book Creator book, have you all noticed that Cami and Book Creator are like on their t-shirts all together now? So instead of doing regular slides, I'm like, let's do this in a Book Creator book. So, okay, so tell me if you have lived this picture in some variation. Even if I teach high school and I still feel like I've lived this picture, you know what I mean? It's like we've got all of this stuff going on, and we've got kids pulling at us from different directions, and we're just trying to keep things straight and everything. And it can be tough. And the reality is that the classroom doesn't scale very easily when there's 24 of them and one of you. Or if I'm being honest right now, I have a class of 34 high schoolers. It doesn't scale very easily, does it? There's only one of us. Sometimes I think if there's a mutiny and they all decide to turn on me, I'm not going to survive. You know what I mean? So like it says over here, let's get you and your students some support. This is what I love about Cami, is that not only does it give your students the ability to add things to PDF files, but it also helps get them answers, and it helps them get support that they need right in the moment. That sometimes if I'm off, over here, working with somebody else, I'm over here and there's all of you over here, and you're like, you guys seen the kids that hold their hands up and they wait and they wait and they wait and they wait so long that they have to do this? Like support their arm up because they can't hold it up any longer. We're gonna get them some help. And what you can really do is use some of these new features, especially some of the new AI features that are built into Cami. It gives students that right in the moment support with the activity that you're already doing. And actually, I'm going to show you some of that in the context of a lesson that I might teach in my high school Spanish class. So I'm going to take you into my Spanish class. I teach at Park Heritage High School, which is in little bitty Rockville, Indiana, west of Indianapolis in Indiana. It's 28 degrees there this morning. So we're glad that we're here, right? Fun fact, I live in a county that calls itself the covered bridge capital of the world. We actually have a covered bridge festival. It's like, we're like out there in the middle. We have a drive your tractor to school day. Like, are you starting to picture? Okay. And so, right? Yeah. And so I teach high school Spanish. And one of the things that we talk about right, Belsa? One of the things we talk about in Spanish is the culture of Spanish-speaking countries. So I thought, well, let's teach a fun lesson about tapas culture in Spain. And so I pulled together this really fun set of slides and images and infographics and everything. And we're going to work through that in Cami. And as you look at those slides, you might go, well, wait a second. Where did you get that PDF file? Well, first of all, if you've already got your own materials, if you've already got your own activities, you can just throw those into Cami and students can do lots of cool things with them. But if you need to make something, let me show you a quick little walkthrough on how I would make this. First of all, have y'all heard of this thing called Google Gemini? No, never heard of it. Okay. Well, welcome to 2026. I'm gonna bring you up to speed. So it's kind of like ChatGPT for Google, right? I asked it to create me a report about tapas culture. I want it to be interesting, relevant, with important parts that they'll find most inspiring. Took this report and I threw it into Notebook LM. Have y'all heard of Notebook LM? Notebook LM will take that report and we'll turn it into a set of slides. Notice that it's not just a boring old set of text slides. It makes images and it integrates the text and everything. And then it took all of those slides and it turned it into this infographic. I mean, check that infographic out. Took all of my information about tapas and it turned it into all of these, it's got some examples, it's got some phrases. It's about connection, not consumption. It's like pretty good stuff, right? You all got the link to my slides earlier, right? So yeah, you can go back and get all this. The nice thing is that you don't even have to generate it all like that. Kami has a library full of a whole bunch of graphic organizers and pre-made lessons and everything. And you can just pull things right into Kami from that library, which is super nice. So, it's got graphic organizers like this ACE response one. You've got test taking strategies. There's just like all sorts of, like hundreds and hundreds of things that you can sort through, and it's all for free. I kind of like to joke that the Kami library is kind of like Teachers Pay Teachers, but for free. It's like all of the good stuff, but you can get it. And then of course, if you want to pull in your own stuff, you certainly can. And if you've got multiple files, like if you've got, a packet here and some graphic organizers here, and you want to put them all together, they've got split and merge mode where you can pull all of those files together all in one place. And that's what I did right here. So let's dive right into my assignment, shall we? So we're going to come into my Kami assignment, which is all about, as I was mentioning earlier, it's all about tapas culture in Spain. And so now we're going to slowly upload this. While this is happening, see, now we're going to improvise like we do in the classroom, right? Has this ever happened to you guys before? The power goes out or your technology doesn't work? Whenever I present on technology, whenever something messes up, I'm always like, does it make you feel any better that the technology presenter is having trouble with their technology? And everybody's like, yeah. But what's really cool about Kami is that you take this file, which is basically like a PDF file. And we got PDF files of all sorts of different student activities a lot of times. You can add all sorts of really neat things to it. So for instance, you can highlight, you can add text, you can draw, which is all the stuff that you would expect. But then you can also add voice comments. So imagine instead of having students just like fill something out, you have them talk. You can take pictures. And so instead of having them answer with like words, have them take a picture to represent it. You can have them take a picture of the work that they're doing in class and throw it in there. And so then all of that becomes this like rich multimedia project that they're going to turn in instead of just, a worksheet. And then what's also cool about it too that I'm going to show you in just a second is that now we have this understand button. So imagine we're working in class and you're scrolling through all of this and you get to one of my information slides and you're like, this just doesn't make any sense. And so then you're holding your hand up. Still holding your hand up. Mr. Miller's helping somebody else. I need some help. I just want to understand what this slide is all about. You click on the understand button and there's an explain button. So you just draw a little box around the thing that you want explained, and Kami's AI will give you a deeper explanation of it. Now, it's not the kind of AI that's going to give you all the answers. It's the kind that's going to help you better understand it so you can keep going forward. Also, if you've got that kid that's just sort of curious about lots of things, curious about everything, and they want to like ask a bunch of questions and stuff, what they can do is they can use that same AI understand button and get answers to all those questions. So now that I've done improvising and this is all ready to go, let's take a look at our assignment here. First of all, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit so we can see everything. Created my cover image in Google Gemini. Do you see how these tools all kind of work very nicely together? So sometimes you create something in another tool, but then you pull it into Kami and it makes it more interactive. And so now we've got all of our slides and everything, which is super cool. So from here, once we're here, let's take a look at what would happen if we don't understand this idea. This is one of the fun things about tapas. It all started with a simple lid. Do you guys know what I'm talking about when it comes to tapas? Like little appetizers, right? But they started off as something that you would put over your glass so that flies wouldn't fly into your drink. That's if you want a little of it, you can come right over here to explain. This is what I was talking about. Check this out. We're just going to highlight this part. Explain it to us. So it's going to come up with, and so if we didn't understand it at first, curious, all we do is we just come down here and we take a look at this and scroll down through, and now we've got even more explanation, which is kind of cool, right? So if we keep going, now we've got a verb in Spanish, tapear, which is to eat tapas, right? And then we've got the unwritten rules of the Spanish table: community, conversation, balance, and daily enjoyment. What we could do with this is we could have students add a comment, be able to explain how that connects in their family. Like you might connect it to something like, we just had Thanksgiving recently, right? Some of those things all sort of connect. So we're gonna add a voice comment over here. We're gonna allow it. And now we're recording, as you can see right over here. And so we're gonna record what this means to us and how we do it in our home. We hit stop, and now you can see that voice recording is right there, which is kind of cool. It's especially cool when you do this collaboratively, because you can have multiple kids in the same file. And so then they're able to go and listen to each other's stuff. In fact, imagine if you had one class all in the same place and they're able to see each other's comments, hear each other's voices and everything, which is really, really neat. Okay, so then we keep scrolling a little bit and we notice that now we have this map. And so let's imagine we're studying specific parts of this map. We're gonna go into the drawing, and within the drawing, we're gonna take, let's see, we're gonna make it a little bit thicker, and we're gonna take the drawing, and let's say that if we have a specific region, we wanna be able to mark it up and identify which region it is. So being able to do that is kind of nice too. So we add that in. And then let's say we keep scrolling a little bit more and we get all the way down here to our infographic. Remember I showed you this earlier, right? Basically turns this infographic interactive. And so now we're gonna come over here to the shapes. Let's pick a little bit different color. And if we wanted to ask students, like which one of these, like we go down to the foodie field guide down here. Which one are you most interested in checking out? And they might say, oh, tortilla española, that sounds really interesting. And so we draw in a little shape around the outside of that. And again, it gives them a little bit more that they're able to do. And then we go up here to the comments and we're gonna do like a video comment instead. And so now we're gonna add the video comment right next to it. And so now you can see right over here, we are recording, and I'm talking right here into, there it is. Can you see me down there in the corner? And so now I'm talking about why tortilla española sounds good. It's eggs, it's potatoes, it's all of this stuff that I love. It's gotta be good, right? Yes. Exactly, thank you. And so now my recording is right here and we've added that in here. Couple of other quick things and then we're gonna wrap this up. We've even got some of these graphic organizers. So once we've gotten a chance to go down through, we can have students add text. And so now, they come over here and then they select, the text box, and we're able to just add text right on here. And so if we want to do kind of like a KWL chart or a Venn, I think I've got a Venn diagram down here a little bit. There's a Frayer model right there. They're able to fill all of those in. I want to show you one more thing that's really neat when it comes to all of this. And it's this. When you come over here to the understand and the read aloud, notice that these next ones right here, these are all in a different language, right? So if I'm a language teacher, what can I do with this? Well, for one, I can come in here and I can pick a Spanish voice and I can hit play. And it's going to, let's see if we've got any volume. I don't think we've got any volume. Let's keep going. Can you imagine what Alex's voice probably sounds like when it's reading this? We're just gonna have to do that. But anyway, you're able to play with the read aloud, which is really cool. And then I'll show you one other part that's really nice. If you just need a little help with translation. I know sometimes for some, in some school districts, we've got kids whose native language is something other than English. And sometimes we have multiple languages that are represented. And so to have that like immediate translation feature is super, super helpful. Now, of course, we want, as for me as a Spanish teacher, I want them to do their best to understand what this is. But if they don't know what it's saying, then sometimes it's good to get a little bit of support and a little bit of help. And then once it's done the translation, of course, they can go back through and word for word, they can go and check and see, oh yeah, like, what's a rebanada? I don't know what that means. And then they come down here to the translation. Once it gets done thinking, it's going to tell you, oh, a rebanada is like a slice. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So they can actually learn some things out of that too, which is good. We come all the way down to the end, and so now we've had this nice sort of like multimedia, lesson that we can do. Okay, so as we wrap this up, we've got something for you. I know for those of you that are sitting right here, you got buttons already and stickers, and that's great. If you want to use the premium version of Kami for the rest of the school year, you want to scan that QR code over there on the left. I got to tell you, and that's not actually just for Kami, that's for Book Creator also. Book Creator is what I did my slides in right here. It's this cool platform that lets students create things very creatively. It's got templates. It can throw all sorts of different multimedia into it, and they turn it into a book. You can embed things from different tools as well. Book Creator is amazing in and of itself. And so you're going to get 6 months premium Kami and 6 months premium Book Creator. Now, if you loved all the stuff that you just saw here and you would like even more creative teaching ideas, like on a regular basis in your inbox, just a little drip of new ideas, you want to scan this QR code right here. That's going to get you my free email newsletter that I send out on Mondays and Thursdays with practical teaching ideas.